why did I end up in this situation? Like, why was I so trusting? Why was I naive? You know, you start to rationalize in your head how the situation got to that point.
Right now there is a girl somewhere trapped in a brothel, crying herself to sleep again, and maybe daring to imagine that someday, just maybe, she might be treated not like a piece of property, but as a human being.
The majority of the teens that are involved in sex trafficking don't self-report. They don't call the police and say, hey, listen, this is what's going on to me. They don't tell their parents. They don't tell counselors or anybody like that.
I would look at changes in mood first. I mean, that would be the first typical situation that I would look at. What has this youth identified with or acted in the past, and how is she acting or he acting now? Specifically, if there's anger outbursts, isolation, depression, those are key indicators that something is going on. Not specifically exploitation, but something is happening where there's a mood change.
You know, she's kind of given those warning signs. She's kind of talked along the lines of she has an adult male boyfriend. This boyfriend may be gang involved. She's sneaking out of the house at night. She's leaving sometimes like a day or two at a time.
Look at the attendance. If she's not coming to school at all, or she's only going to a certain classes, meaning she got an appointment, you know, with me, she got something to do later on, you know. Oh, that's a red flag.
Change in behavior, change in friends. They dress differently. Just an overall a lack of interest in school is a big one. And they've lost interest in sports. They're not hanging around with the same kids. If anything, they're either hanging around by themselves at the lunch table or with a totally different group that everyone in the school knows. You know, those kids are kind of shady. I don't know why she's hanging out with them. Really a feeling of, you know, I'm no good. I'm not a good person.
She's definitely going to change because she feels bad for what she's doing. So she's going to, you know, kind of, you know, how the average person would. You know, if you're doing something bad and I say something about it, you're going to naturally, you know, try to go into your little shell.
And you don't necessarily know where that comes from. But that's like the warning signs that, again, people in the schools and maybe even parents at home will see before any law enforcement officer.
I mean, we know the people in our lives, particularly the important people in our lives, really well. You know, we get a sense when something's off, but oftentimes people are like, you know what, I'm not gonna talk to them about this, and they hold back. You know, I tell students all the time, why hold back? I mean, if you care about these people, go forward with it. Ask them, what's going on? You look like something's off today.
When they see signs of students removing themselves from their friends, sitting at the back of the classroom, sitting to the side at the cafeteria, you know, walking in the hallways by themselves, which is maybe a very different behavior than what they've seen before, that someone just asks, whether it's a fellow student that just asks, or a teacher or an administrator, someone, a counselor, just ask. Because until we ask, we don't know. And it could be as simple as someone not having a good day, but could be something very much more.
This is where I think young people can be our partners in this, is that they may know more than the adults do in terms of really what's going on. And that's where we'd really love to get young folks help in this. So instead of judging somebody, if you hear somebody is a hoe, or someone says, oh, they're fast, or someone who's always out, always partying, always spending time with different groups, let's look at that. Maybe they need a little bit of help. Maybe they're being forced to do that. So it's not something that they're choosing to do.
You let them know that you're worried about them and that you don't want them to get involved in this type of lifestyle because you care about them. That's a big thing. Not to say anything like, don't you know that this is stupid and they're gonna hurt you, because all that's gonna do is make that girl feel worse. she knows she's wrong. You know, once she's involved in lifestyle, gets caught up in the beginning part of it, she doesn't want to be involved, but she's scared. It's important for her to know that there's people that'll be on her side and help her out.
So when I came in the house, I'm wondering, what is he gonna do? And he went upstairs and I was downstairs, and I heard the click of the gun. And when I heard the click of the gun, I said, I'm gonna stay here and die, or I'm going to run. And I was running around in a gated community, where we were living, and this guy was there in his garage with his daughter. His daughter was about 2. And he said, well, why are you running? And so even in that moment, I didn't say he was my pimp. I said, I'm running away from my boyfriend who's trying to beat me up. And he's like, well, come in here. Like, if you're running around out there, he's gonna get you. So he put me in his garage and he closed it, and he got a hotel for me, got me some food, and allowed me to call my mom. And I told my mom, I want to come home. And that's how I got out.
There are some secrets you can't keep. Someone's going to have a surprise birthday party for you. That's a great secret to keep. But in this situation, if you are concerned about a friend being engaged in teen sex trafficking or any other situation that might harm them, this is not a secret they can keep.
At the end of the day, do you value your friend's health more than your friendship? They might be mad at you, they might never speak to you again, but what you've done for them can save their life, can save their family's lives. It's the first step in a long, long journey out of a terrible situation.
Working off a tip from a Fairfax County school employee, police were able to bust the juvenile sex ring. Susan had the final word with her trafficker. In September, her testimony inside Alexandria's federal courthouse helped send Strom to prison for 40 years.
The goal of the teacher and staff members who may have something like this reported to them is to help the student. We want the student to know that they have a way out, that we care about them and we care about all of our students. Yes, we do want the traffickers brought to justice, but our first and most important thing that we try to do is help that student.
There are a lot of resources in our community, in our country. There are nationwide resources. There are hotlines. So while it's impossible probably to keep all those numbers in your head or remember them, there are adults who know them. So I would say to anybody who's either worried about themselves or worried about a friend, find a trusted adult.
If your friend won't come with you to go and tell someone what's going on, take that responsibility on to go and help. It never hurts to go and talk to an adult and see if there really is something going on. So we need help. We can't do this by ourselves. This has gone silent for too long, and it's time for us all to step up.
What's really important is when you recognize those warning signs, when you recognize that there's a potential for something like that to be going on, that you report it to the right people so that we can take care of that and make sure that it doesn't happen. If somebody tries to recruit you on Facebook or Twitter or whatever social media site you might be on, report that to somebody. We need to be vigilant. We need to come together as a community, as a student body, as parents, educators, as police, to really combat this issue together.